more than the numbers, Marie, I would like our viewers to know that this industry is very special because we have placed the Philippines in the global map of professional services. There is no other industry where we can claim we are a leader. But in IT-BPM, we are a recognized leader. Hindi natin kailangan pang magyabang because the world recognizes our leadership in IT-BPM. And Marie, the battle cry for the industry is really upskilling and reskilling of its existing workers to make sure that we are able to cope with the requirements for the jobs of the future, where AI will assist the human. There is always a human in the loop. And if an employee knows how to use AI, he will not be replaced by AI. That's what we think.
So from that particular battle cry, which I believe is really huge and something talaga that has been ingrained, no, sa BPO space. But the reality is, a lot of Filipinos are still afraid na they might lose their job, na their job is actually now AI assisted. They may be left dry in the cold what to do with their career. So are there real initiatives being done by each company to ensure that if this person loses a job because it's now AI assisted, that they actually have a guaranteed job na sasalo sa kanila?
I don't know about the guaranteed jobs, Marie.
Yes.
Nobody can guarantee that.
Tama.
The only thing that our BPO companies do is always have this training. The learning and development programs of BPOs are really strong. So those who would like to really re-educate themselves, to improve their skills and knowledge, there is always that opportunity.
Right.
Even dati pa, wala pa yung AI, very strong sa IT-BPM,
Agree.
yung training, continuous training ng mga empleyado. What we want to happen now is that aside from the training that is being conducted by the individual companies, nasusupplement ito ng government programs to also upskill and reskill. Yung wala pa sa BPO, halimbawa, or wala pa sila sa work, pero wala na sila sa school.
Yes.
Merong opportunities for them to be able to relearn or learn new skills. Kasi available naman yung place or platform para ka matrain kung gusto mo talagang matrain. It is sometimes disappointing na hearing na meron palang mga empleyado na sasabihin sa kanila na i-schedule natin yung training nyo kasi itong account na to, ililipat kita dito.
Exactly.
Merong mga nagre-refuse.
Unfortunately.
Kahit yun will improve their skills. Ayaw kong lumipat, pero kung mawawala na yung account na yan, magre-resign na lang ako. Paghahanap na lang ako ng trabaho sa ibang company na yung comfort level ko, na yun lang yung ginagawa ko, yun pa din yung gagawin nila. So, I guess, yung continuous learning should be a mindset of the employee para hindi ka maging obsolete, di ba? Kasi kailan ba lalong hihirap ang kailangan na skills?
Correct.
So, kapag hindi mo in-improve yung sarili mo, ma-obsolete ka talaga.
Correct. And let's face it, Celeste, di ba, importante na if you're doing a certain job over and over and over and over again, yun nga, sinasabi na kailangan dumating yung punto naman ng buhay mo na ma-elevate ka. Kasi some of these things will actually be automated talaga or yun nga, AI-assisted. So, nasa sa atin na mga Filipinos and workers in the BPO to actually elevate our game by ensuring that we educate ourselves and we say yes to opportunities outside of our normal way of doing things, di ba? In that way, na kung dati ang hawak mo isang segment lang ng negosyo, you try to understand the rest of the process, yung upstream and downstream, so that you can create value for the company and create value for yourself.
Oo. Pwede kang lilipat itong ginagawa mo ngayon. Pwedeng sa susunod o mag-volunteer ka doon sa ibang process.
Right.
And kahit saan ka makarating, whether umalis ka doon sa company na yun, lumipat ka sa iba, then you have a bigger base of skills to be really proud of and will make you qualified for higher value or higher quality jobs. And siguro, Marie, the mindset also is that there are other countries that are aspiring to be BPO destinations.
Yes.
Hindi lang Pilipinas ang in the ball game for this. So, if our main value proposition is the availability of talented, skilled Filipinos, we should live up to that promise. Otherwise, wala na tayong mai-invite na bagong investors.
Yes.
At yung mga nandito na might think na we don't have the talent anymore, pwede na nating dalhin yung ibang part of the business to other countries. Eh di tayo yung mawawalan as
Which we don't like.
Which we don't like.
Which will not happen. We will protect our ecosystem in the
We
retail
should
space.
do that.
We should do that, absolutely. So let's talk yet again another global trend, no? Itong global remote work. How has it affected or changed the BPO industry? Can we go back to the days of COVID when it wasn't an issue at all to where it is now, where I think you guys in IBPAP also assisted the companies in the Philippines to take action on a very decisive move on how to address it?
Okay. Remote work. Ang simple na ginagamit natin before, work from home.
Work from home, correct.
When COVID struck and we were asked to work from home, so yung industry, in a matter of days, kailangan mag-work from home. We were, I think, at that time, around 1.4, 1.5 million. And 10% only would be allowed to remain on-site kasi lockdown. So how do you move 90% of your people to work from their homes, bringing their computers and laptops, having stable internet connectivity, and being able to be productive, be able to do quality work that is expected by the client. So, masyadong disrupted yung
very much so.
When
very
COVID
much so.
started. And of course, as an industry also, we tried to make sure that yung working from home setup becomes gradually improved.
Correct. Because there are compliances that needed to be done, especially for the financial BFSI.
Kasi di ba before COVID, ang mga clients, ayaw nila ng work from home, ayaw nila ng remote work. Although, I remember before COVID, meron talagang mga certain companies allowed to do work from home, case-to-case basis. Pag nag-request ng permission, for example, from PEZA, papayagan itong company na to, depende sa kung sino yung nag-apply. After COVID, yun na yung norm for work. So work from home, parang 2 years yun, we were able to adjust, di ba? Wala ka namang choice. But to adjust. So I remember companies had to make sure na, sige, maayos na the tools of the trade have been brought to the employee, and then meron silang internet connectivity, and then tools to monitor productivity and quality. So all of those...
And data privacy as well.
All of those were in place. Yung mga technology na kailangan para monitor yon after several months. And then, sanay na sa work from home. And then, COVID really lengthened a couple of years. Nung nag-uumpisa na mag-improve yung situation, parang there was a move to get people back to office. Ngayon, yun ang parang severe pushback from the employees who were already so used to working from home. Ayaw na nilang bumalik sa...
Ayaw na nilang mag-commute.
Ayaw na nila...
long commute.
Gastos mas malaki. Ganyan. They won't be able to continue taking care of their children. Of their parents. Ganyan. So maraming reasons kung bakit ayaw nang bumalik on-site. Pero I think, more than COVID, naging global trend na. It wasn't just the Philippines that kind of adapted to the remote work trends. So, what IBPAP did at that time was to explain to government why this is necessary to be recognized. It's not really COVID that's the reason to allow people to work from home, but because the competitiveness also of the Philippines was also at stake.
Correct.
If our competitor countries are allowing their employees to work from home, then dapat the Philippines is also able to do that. And during that time, there are clients who already asked for work from home solutions, di ba?
Correct.
Ang
Sila na mismo.
Nagwo-work naman pala na pwedeng nasa bahay, productive naman, they are meeting our requirement. So gusto namin, meron kaming empleyado na talagang working from home. So dapat merong policy yung government that allows yung work from home. and dun sa mga companies na nag-a-avail ng incentives
Right.
to still continue availing of the incentives kahit
Correct.
nag-work from home. So, there was a lot of work that IBPAP did with the investment promotion agencies,
There you go.
also with the Department of Trade and Industry, with the Department of Finance, at saka sa mga lawmakers. So,
Correct.
ma-recognize nila na kailangan i-recognize dapat makapag-work from home without affecting
Correct.
yung competitiveness of this company. So, lahat na yan, we did that in a span of siguro 2021. So, last year, merong law that
Yes.
has been passed,
Yes.
create more,
Yes.
recognizing na dapat merong work from home. So, yung PEZA is now allowed to be able to grant up to 50% work from home.
See?
Ang mga taga-BOI, registered companies, up to 100% work from home. So, allowed sila nung law. Unlike before, parang walang basis to be able to do that
Correct.
in a stable or long-term manner. So, in that case, I guess, parang nagkaroon na ng certain, I don't know how to call it, parang relief or parang comfort level yung
Yes.
ating mga BPO players na
Mm.
hindi pwedeng basta palitan kasi the
Correct.
law already provides yung work from
Diba
home.
from imagine this particular issue gave birth to a law, gave birth to a new way of working. Employees now, at saka kasi alam mo sila, it's hard to compete kasi from the BPO na talagang 100% on-site, there are actually industries na that have allowed the employees to do blended. If BPO won't allow it, actually magkakaroon ng higher attrition.
Yeah.
Oo. So it controlled that and it gave back like the life that the BPO players want. Pero ultimately, the ratio or the balance is still rests with the company, right?
Yes. Really, it depends on the client, what they need. So, it's now hybrid. Ganun na. Hindi yung pure work from home or pure on-site. Parang there's a hybrid ratio. And it really depends on the company. Depende sa mga clients nila.
Tama.
Doon sa subsector. So, halimbawa sa contact center, more of them have people working on-site at a higher ratio. Yun
Tama.
namang mga IT, for example,
Yes.
IT and software, yung mga empleyado dyan, parang ang gusto nila 100% work from home. So,
Yes.
walang single number doon sa
Tama.
ratio
Tama.
ng on-site at saka yung remote. Pero, I think, ang mas importante dito sa recognition of hybrid or remote work is the ability now of the BPO company to hire from all over.
Right.
Even if your operation is in Metro Manila, you can hire from Ilocos, for example.
Tama.
You can hire from Zamboanga with your operation being in Metro Manila kasi allowed ka
Right.
by law to be
Right.
able to do that. So,
Correct.
we are able to tap the pool of talent that is available all over the country without these people leaving their hometowns or their homes
Right.
para lang magtrabaho sa BPO.
Right.
And the BPO players naman, they have also recognized yung parang a trend, we call it yung hub and spoke. Yung
Yes.
satellite offices.
Satellite, yes.
So the BPO players are going nearer to the residences with smaller sites. So mas marami all around the country, pero smaller sizes, unlike yung mga previous models, a few
Right.
thousand sa isang building, ganyan.
Yes.
So, the industry adapts to the situation, and this is one way by which we can make the industry bigger and also more competitive sa global workplace, sa marketplace.
Cool. And at this point, since we talked about the history, we talked about the trends and issues concerning the talent pool, napag-usapan na rin natin ang global remote work. Gusto ko naman pag-usapan sana yung ways of doing business, LGU. Isang malaking issue ito because maraming BPO na hindi lang sila nasa metro. They are all over the Philippines. At nalaman natin na iba't iba pala ang paraan ng pagtanggap sa kanila o pag-onboard sa kanila o even yung mga fees na sinisingil sa kanila. Hindi pala ito standard, no? That said, I know may mga murmurs about some companies that are asking question, can't this be parang standardized somehow? What has IBPAP done to assist them in this particular area?
Okay. Noong 2021, when the CREATE law was passed, parang doon nag-umpisa yung problems ng mga BPO players sa ease of doing business. Yung mga policies, regulations ng mga LGUs, parang hindi sila uniform, hindi consistent, even if they are basing yung dapat na ginagawa nila sa CREATE law.
Okay.
Hindi pare-pareho, hindi consistent yung
Right.
pag-implement nila. So, isang company, for example, that has sites in different parts of the country
Yes.
will deal with LGUs na magkakaiba yung hinihingi
Oh my.
the same requirement. For example, business permit. Dito sa city na to, ay ang daling mag-apply ng business permit dyan.
Oh my
Kasi yung process, streamlined, inayos nila. Dito sa LGU naman na to, ay ang hirap dyan mag-renew. Kasi ang dami nilang sinisingil. Ang dami nilang kailangan sa company and they are imposing requirements on individual employees of the
Oh my
BPO
gosh.
company na kung minsan libo-libo, meron silang hihingi na kailangan nila ng health permit. Isa-isa, all of them. So pagka humingi ng health permit, kailangan daw magpa-x-ray dun sa kanilang accredited clinics. And then, yung x-ray na yon i-upload nila sa portal ng LGU na kung minsan hindi siya gumagana. So, hindi makakomply yung mga empleyado dun sa requirement na yon. Etong health permit na to is a requirement daw sa pag-issue ng sanitary permit. At yung sanitary permit requirement para mag-issue ng business permit. So, parang patong-patong na
And that's just one LGU, which is not similar with another LGU.
Magkakaiba sila all over the country. Sa Metro Manila, magkakaiba sila. Sa mga probinsya, magkakaiba sila. Merong mahirap, merong mas mahirap, merong konting madali. Because of that, doon natin parang naging clamor yung amendment of CREATE. So ngayon, meron ng CREATE More na pass ito noong November 2024.
Mhm.
So, napirmahan siya, the passage of CREATE More at saka yung pag-approve ng implementing rules and regulations noong February this year. Ang industry is really very hopeful na mag-improve yung ease of doing business. Kasi ang mga BPO players, ito yung mga kumpanya and I know, ina-appreciate din ito ng mga ibang government agencies, compliant nitong industry na to. Ang strict ng corporate governance. Kapag sinabi ng gobyerno ito yung kailangan, talagang gagawin nila yon. Kaya dapat sana, hindi naman siya yung parang pinapahirapan.
Exactly.
Oo. So yung talagang ease of doing business, ang ina-expect namin will be improved significantly because of CREATE More. So, nitong simula ng taon, nakakatawa lang, merong mga LGUs pa rin na sasabihin, hindi naman namin alam yung CREATE More na yan. Doon naman sa ibang alam na raw nila, wala pa namang implementing rules and regulations. So, ngayon meron na.
Correct.
So, hopefully, hindi na pwedeng gamitin na reason yon.
Tama.
But, unfortunately, as late as or as recent as yesterday, merong company na nag-email sa akin to say na etong si LGU na to, sinisingil kami ng ganito na dapat hindi na siya sisingilin based doon sa provisions ng CREATE More.
Batas, right.
Ang challenge ngayon, that is what IBPAP would like to be able to help them is na ma-implement ng tama yung CREATE More kasi it was really a huge effort at kaya yon ginawa at sinuportahan ng administration is because they recognize na kailangang i-improve yung ease of doing business at ma-improve yung cost of doing business so that we are able to create the jobs na sinabi natin. Kaya namin mag-produce ng ganito karaming jobs kung maayos lahat yung regulation. So, hihintayin natin talaga na lahat will be aligned, lahat ng LGUs will be aligned doon sa intention ng CREATE More. Kasi that will help create the jobs na magbe-benefit naman din yung mga LGU. Kapag doon na nagtayo ang mas maraming BPO, mas maraming trabaho, at mas uunlad mga cities and towns that have more BPO companies locating there.
Right. And you know, Celeste, can we dare say, kahit na hindi na yung pinaka-worst or most problematic LGU, pero pwede ba natin i-congratulate or i-shout out? Is there like top 2 or 3 LGUs you feel have gotten really good comments and feedback from the locators natin sa Pilipinas?
Siguro gamitin ko na lang yung IT-BPM Solaya Awards last year.
Tama.
So, ang na-awardan natin na parang Best LGU, based on factors na in-evaluate natin sila, kasama yung ease of doing business, of course, Quezon City.
Wow.
Mayor Joy is very supportive of the industry at pwede talaga silang halimbawa may nagsabi sa amin, meron kaming ganitong problem sa Quezon City. So, i-message namin halimbawa yung BPLO of the city, tapos tutulungan niya kaming ayusin.
Wow!
Yung naman outside of Metro Manila, binigyan naman namin ng award na Solaya was Iloilo. Kasi ang Iloilo din has become very popular as a location ng IT-BPM. Ganun din, madaling lapitan yung LGU, hindi lang yung mayor, pati yung mga offices na sumusuport sa mga investors. Gusto natin sanang mangyari sa mga other LGUs para mas marami pa tayong mapagmalaki na
Tama.
LGUs who really are very friendly. Meron namang nangyayari na dati maayos and then dahil narinig nila that there are cities na pwedeng gawin ito for revenue, parang nagiging mahirap na mag-do business doon. Kaya hopefully yung talagang create more, they follow the intent of the law.
Right. And thank you for naming the top two LGU governments, one within Metro Manila, which is Quezon City, and the other one outside of Metro Manila, which is Iloilo. Because I feel like importanteng mayroong panuntunan ang kababayan natin o may pulma na pwedeng sundan, no, itong ating mga kababayan. So thank you for that. So what's in store for, I was with you in a meeting the other day. We were talking already about 2030, no, and moving forward in terms of growth plans of IBPAP. Pero kahit na ito lang, yung near-term future lamang, no? So what has gotten you as COO and of course the CEO Jack Madrid very busy these past few days and months that will lead to further growth and further improvement ng ating industriya?
Okay. So I won't go up to 2030. 2028,
Yes.
you are familiar with the IT-BPM roadmap. We have what we call the IT-BPM Roadmap 2028, and it is the blueprint of our industry's growth from 2022 to 2028. Laging nagko-coincide ito sa every new administration so
Right.
that the targets and goals of the industry are also the goals of the administration because there's help that we need from them.
Yes.
So, what we promise in that roadmap is that IT-BPM industry has the potential to reach 2.5 million by 2028.
Wow.
So, ngayon, 1.82
Yes.
million.
Yes.
So, parang mga less than 700,000.
Yes, about 700,000.
Yun yung potential.
Yes.
Yun ang aggressive target. Kung walang problema, marireach yun.
For
So, yun
sure.
ang tinatry natin na ma-address. Ano bang problema pa ng industry that IBPAP can help address? So, sabi ko nga yung sa ease of doing business, with Create More, kasi tayo talaga yung may clamor na magkaroon ng ganong batas. So, hopefully, ayos na yon. Merong problema ang industry with cybercrimes.
Yes.
And what we are going to try to do from this year onwards is to also have the cybercrime law amended. We have the support of the Speaker of the House, Congressman Romualdez. He filed a bill ng amendment of the cybercrime law based on a draft na present ng industry sa kanya. And also sa Senate, meron ding version of amendment ng cybercrime law that has been already filed. So, sa next Congress, makakailangan siyang i-refile, but we're going to make sure na ito talaga susundan closely ng industry because
Tama.
it is very important to us that the business of the member companies are protected. Kasi pagka merong cybercrime na na-commit, pag yung client sinabi na, dahil sa problema na yan, ipupull out ko na yung business ko sa Pilipinas. Oo. And that can cost us maybe several hundreds, a few thousands of jobs overnight.
Correct.
Kapag hindi natin siya
In-address.
na-address. So, yun yung pinaka-major problem na laging sinasabi ng ating mga CEOs. Ako naman, because of how I have been receiving itong mga emails ng mga members natin, yung problems nila with certain government agencies, tingin ko, hindi masosolve ng Create More. Itong problem sa BIR, merong revenue regulation, not revenue regulation, Revenue Memorandum Circular, RMC.
Okay.
Kabisado ko ng number na to. Hindi siya mabura-bura sa isip ko eh. RMC 05-2024. Ito ang laking impact sa mga players natin, sa assessment ng taxes, and hopefully ma-address natin to with the help of the Department of Finance, and we have already spoken with other government agencies with explaining to them kung anong impact. Hopefully ma-address yon. Kung minsan, parang ang taas-taas ng assessment ng taxes ng BIR, minsan hindi nakaka-confuse na bakit nagkaganyan. And we would like to make sure na yung ating companies are not anymore burdened ng mga ganitong taon-taon, meron silang ganun na problem. So these are among the priorities of IT-BPM for 2025. Merong ibang medyo mas complex, hindi ko na lang muna sasabihin.
Sure.
Baka meron pang susunod na episode.
For sure. For certain.
Meron pang ibang mga priorities that I'd be happy to discuss for the understanding of those who are now interested with IT-BPM.
Perfect. And one of the last questions I have, because we went from how you started your career in the BPO space, from your earlier government stint into the private stint, and now into an industry stint. Pero I think, gusto ko din kasi it's Women's Month still, and I wanted to give light and shed light to Celeste, the woman behind all these roles that she's been doing, working with government people, with presidents of the Philippines, with the who's who perhaps, in not only the BPO space, pero sa government. I presume that you reached this point in your life and career because of very pointed actions, Whether you were doing it consciously or you were doing it as you go through your life, can you share with the young people that are our audience, Like, meron tayong phrase na ginagamit, how to be you. Maybe you can say it like a description of how you were raised, or maybe a description of how people raised you, or some parts of it could be you took meaningful actions talaga to create the woman that you are today. Maybe a combination of all that.
Siguro wala namang structure, but I come from a big family. We are 12 siblings. I am now the eldest, pero nung grade school, meron akong older brother who passed away in an accident. So, I had recognized parang the responsibilities of being the eldest child. Dapat always the role model, because in my mind, if ako yung disobedient, if I didn't finish school, if I don't land a job right away, parang I won't be a good role model to my younger siblings, and I won't be able to help my parents being able to send brothers and sisters to school. So, siguro yun yung parang formation.
I love that.
Responsible ka as an eldest sister.
You are, yeah.
At the same time, parang doon ko siguro natutuhan yung delegation dahil marami kami.
Yeah.
So, merong assignment yung mga mas bata. Ikaw, gagawin mo to, gagawin mo to, gagawin mo.
Right.
So, ganun kaming family. So,
wow.
Baka yun yung parang early
foundational.
formation.
Correct.
And dun sa first job ko, what I was able to do was, kapag ka merong assignment na walang gustong gumagawa, nagre-raise ako ng hand para gawin yun. So, halimbawa, magsusulat ng minutes sa meeting. Kasi ang daming meeting, handwritten to kasi wala laptop.
Yes.
So, ako, laging, sige, magsusulat ng minutes, o kahit hindi ko pa alam
so you would
format,
volunteer?
I would volunteer. Hindi ko alam ang format ng minutes, pero alam ko, it is, parang transcript ng kung anong pinag-usapan.
Correct.
So, magaling ako mag-take notes. And then, kapag ka merong mga events, for example, with other agencies, ganyan, walang gustong mag-host. So, pag walang gustong mag-host, kahit medyo ako, hindi naman pa sanay na sanay doon, doon magpa-volunteer ako, ako yung sinasabi, ikaw mag-host. So, parang yung ganon, you volunteer for roles na even if you are not comfortable, may stretch ka And then after that, sanay ka na doon. Ikaw na yung go-to person, parang ganon.
Correct.
And sa every job that I had, parang I thought it was going to help me kung parang meron kang mentor. Hindi naman siguro intentional, you kind of gravitate to a person na parang pinapakita that they recognize your potential.
Correct.
At the same time, parang pag tinanong mo, merong natutulong sa'yo and trying to kind of prop you up, also giving you opportunity. So, sa lahat ng work ko, meron akong ganon. Siguro it help also to recognize din, siguro baka mas importante noon, you should look good. How you dress up,
Yes.
how you put yourself
Together.
together, ganyan. Lahat yun parang very intentional. Tapos,
love that.
how you communicate. Kasi if you have ideas, if you are strong technically, but you are not able to express yourself, baka you are not going to go several steps higher. Kasi baka hindi makikita yung galing mo because you are not able to express yourself. So, parang yon intentionally, piece by piece, kapag dumating na ako
Galing.
sa ganitong role, ito na dapat yung gagawin ko. So, nung nandun na ako halimbawa sa leadership position, kung director na ako, kailangan ko networking skills. So, hindi pwedeng when I attend an event, parang nandun lang ako sa isang tabi, di ba?
Yes.
Intentionally, dapat you hone your small talk skill para alam mo what to say, how to open a conversation, at what not to say, di ba? Ganon.
Absolutely.
So, ganon, very deliberate. I was invited to a talk sa Japan and parang ang gusto nila is yung life journey. So, nun ko lang inisip talaga, paano ko ba talaga inano yung career ko? So, nagawa ko ng slides at meron ako isang slide doon, parang roadmap to moving up. So, yung mga sinabi ko, yun yung mga steps na sinabi ko ngayon.
I love it. I love it. So, whilst in the beginning, it wasn't fully intentional, pero in the moment, you knew you needed to do something extra special or that will give you talaga yung relevance. You know, the people will see your relevance talaga sa organization. Ang ganda.
And yung edge mo siguro din.
The edge.
Kasi there are many of you di ba?
Yes.
Dapat you offer something different sa iba.
Absolutely. Plus, also in the Philippines, there aren't too many people who can say that, I mean, in companies where you can say, we have a leader that manages our external affairs and government alliance. I mean, at least in my lifetime, you're the only person I know that has done that successfully, to have engaged not only the company that you worked for, pero ngayon you're able to use it from a wider standpoint. So, wow, this has been such an amazing, I mean, it's a dream to get this lady to sit with me. Today, you know, she made my dream come true. Kaya maraming salamat, Celeste Ilagan.
Thank you, Marie, for having me. This is really enjoyable conversation and we have people listening to us and I hope they were able to take away a few things from what we talked about.
Can you commit to another episode sometime soon?
Yes, oo. Basta hindi mo ako papag-computein, okay lang.
Perfect. So, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. We have Celeste Ilagan, COO of IBPAP, opening our season 2 for Breaking the Mold. This is Marie Ampelocchio from Radix HR.